We just have to make sure we're not walking into a setup.
True, because, yeah, that could be a setup too. I think we should bring up one.
How you doing? Good, good, good. I can hop out. You want to meet me at the gate?
Alright.
Here, I'm gonna come out right now so you can see me. These are my guys. What's going on? Nice to meet you. How long do you plan on going out for?
Probably all evening.
You're gonna go for 24 hours straight?
Probably, that's my goal.
That sounds exhausting.
Not my first time. Probably won't be my last.
So what goes through your head when you get ready to go out there?
Just trying to stay positive.
How dangerous is it out there for you?
It could get pretty dangerous, to be honest.
Can you run us through a story of an experience that might give people an idea of how hectic it can get out there?
I mean, it could get pretty dangerous. I had this one client who didn't want to always make them pay me first, and then I'll do the service or whatever. He tried to take the money back from me and shit. I have brothers and shit that I call and they handle the situation.
So you have some guys that if you need backup, you can.
Yeah, not everybody has that, you know? I didn't have that at first.
Is there anything you can tell about your clients or customers
A lot of them are still married and literally cheating on their wives, and that's crazy as fuck to me.
What percent of your clients do you think are married?
Probably over half of them.
Wow. Does that surprise you?
Yeah.
What percent of clients are wearing rubbers and what aren't?
Oh, I don't do anything without a rubber, so.
It seems like it would be pretty risky to do it without a rubber.
Yeah, you're basically just gonna kill yourself. I know a couple girls that do anything for $1.
Can you tell me more about your story or how you got into this?
I'll be 23 next month, and I've been doing this since 17.
What happened when you were 17 that you said, hey, this is what I want to do?
Well, I mean, my mom I'm from Indiana actually. My mom moved us back out here to Arizona, and we didn't have anything. We didn't have a house, we didn't have a car, we didn't have shit. And then my mom left me out here by myself.
Your mom left you out here by yourself?
Yep.
Where did she go?
She moved to Florida with her mom.
So is this kind of just survival?
Yeah.
I guess, is there anything you think would be important to tell people back home that might not know anything about this world?
Don't be so judgmental towards people. I'm a peacemaker, I love peace. You don't know what the next person's going through, really.
How long do you see yourself doing this for?
Honestly, I don't know, but hopefully not too much longer.
We've done a similar piece in Chicago and Los Angeles, and one thing we've heard from both pimps and prostitutes in both those areas is they don't do black customers.
Okay, I don't do black customers either.
Too risky?
Yeah.
What percent of women out here you think have pimps?
I think back then when I first started working versus now, it's a lot of renegades now. Versus when I first started working, it's a lot of pimps and hoes.
And do you think pimps are helpful, or do you think they're hurtful to the business model?
As long as they're not a gorilla pimp, then they can be very helpful.
So you kind of need a pimp to survive in some ways?
Yeah.
Is the game plan basically to find customers and bring them back here?
I do car dates.
Is that the most common way of doing it?
Yeah.
Are there any weird fetishes that you come across?
This one guy, he hit me up. He's like, "Are you able to I didn't know what scat play was until I had to Google it when he asked me to do it. Scat play? Who? I didn't know people really like stuff like that.
For any family or friends that might be out there wondering how you're doing, is there anything you would like to say to them?
I'm good. I'm alive. Shit, they can hit my line. But I do have a son, and I do see myself being more active in his life.
When he's not with you, who does he stay with?
My baby daddy's mom.
Okay, that's good. You in the game or formerly in the game?
I'll never leave the game.
How young were you when you got into this game?
9.
9?
Yeah.
Who got you into this game at 9?
Just watching. Born in Los Angeles, California.
Did you grow up on Figueroa?
Yeah, I know about Figueroa.
Did you have any family members on the blade?
Cousins, females.
Did they teach you the game?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
34.
Now that you're older, more mature, is that kind of wild to think that you were that young and put in those type of situations?
Yes, it actually does.
So I hear all the time, pimps take 100% of the money. That to me sounds absolutely crazy. What's your take on that?
She only gonna do what you let her do to you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever she go for, that's what it's gonna be. I mean, there is some that do that. There are some that run their program a little differently, you know?
So if people think, man, a pimp is just a parasite, do you agree with that, or do you disagree with that?
It can be, but see, you got motherfuckers out there giving pimp a bad name.
Is pimping a lucrative business?
Very.
What's the most you think you ever made in a month?
30.
It's like an investment banker's income. It's not bad, huh? Do you ever feel bad for some of the prostitutes out there?
Actually, I do. That's what made me stop. A lot of these girls were raised wrong. They weren't loved how they were supposed to be. It took me a minute to realize, like, a life comes out of that. You know, the whole baby comes out of that. That's crazy. Like, pussy is the root of all evil. It's what make the world go round. This is the best thing on earth. It'll make anybody do anything.
Have you ever had to hunt down a trick and collect money?
Yes.
A lot? On the scales of good and evil, where do you see yourself?
I see myself good.
What percentage of women out there do you think have been sexually abused or abused as a kid?
A lot.
What percent of pimps out there do you think have been abused as a kid?
See, that's what I'm saying about this word pimp. You got boyfriend pimping, gorilla pimping, freak body pimping.
What is a freak body pimp?
These dudes out here that don't care. They'll pimp a tranny, they'll pimp a gay dude, this shit is wild, B. Like, this shit is illegal, flag on the motherfucking plane. But I guess if it make you money, hey, man, I ain't gonna be selling a boy pussy. That's out of pocket.
Have you ever been in danger doing this job?
Every day I'm in danger. 144 years.
A pimp got 144 years?
You know, another one that got 422 years.
From Arizona? 420 years? After Steve mentioned that he knew of pimps that got 144 year, 420 year sentences, I was curious to know the legal ramifications for each of the characters in the story: pimps, prostitutes, and johns. And it turns out it depends on the state, but let's take California for example. For a first-time offender of someone pimping an adult, they typically get a sentence of 3 to 6 years. But a really bad pimp who's involved in sex trafficking and more may get a few decades in prison, like this Milwaukee pimp did recently. For the women caught soliciting sex, most states agree that it is better to help the women than heavily punish her. Because of this, prostitution is typically a misdemeanor, and instead women are steered towards programs like probation, mandatory AIDS testing, and community service. And now for the johns. Let's take Illinois for example. Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart noticed a discrepancy in the Department of Justice statistics. In 2010, 43,000 women were arrested for prostitution and only 19,000 johns were arrested for soliciting it. He decided he wanted to go after the johns soliciting sex and launched his National John Suppression Program. When the johns are caught, they're given a ticket and a fine, and the money from their fine goes to support counseling and job programs for the Women's Justice Program, a program that supports the sex workers the police catch to steer them into a better future.
Imagine a motherfucking telling you 422 years in the Department of Corrections.
That's insane.
All because of a stinking ass bitch.
I learned a lot. Do you have any final thoughts?
If you can get out of it, get out of it. If you don't put anything in it, don't expect shit out of it. Straight up.
The families worry about them and think, you know, every day that shit on these streets is going to be okay, but you never know. I mean, there's so many girls that came up.
There's a lot of girls that are missing right now.
That are missing. They found girls that the tricks took them and raped them and left them in the alley. There's a girl that they found over here on Northern too, and they found her in a suitcase.
In a suitcase.
In a suitcase chopped up.
That's the worst part about it. Like, they don't have to walk the blade. I think that's the cheapest hoeing you can ever do. Internet, cool. That's more.
The internet's the worst.
What? That gets dangerous too.
No,
you can have somebody lying to you about who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
Cam it up. You can get through it, just cam it up.
They used to have where get on the internet and do just phone. You don't have to touch nobody, go see nobody. I think that's the safest way.
I feel like if it was that easy,
Because
then
that's what's
nobody
going on
would
right
be
now.
doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's the number one fear of what's
keeping
going
them
on
up.
right now. These women are ruining themselves. Syphilis, gonorrhea. Like, these women are catching.
STD yet.
And by the grace of
Some
God.
these girls do take care of themselves, you know. You got some girls walking out here like, damn, like they look like high class prostitutes, you know, like their shit don't stink.
What's the percentage of them that are not going to doctors, getting checkups, and it's
Stay
high.
at the doctors.
For those that do take care of themselves, kudos, respect to you. Handle your scandal. With the ones that ain't, you need to get it together.
That's their lack of love. They don't have that person to teach them that
Right,
shit.
that's what I'm talking about. Like the ones that don't try to take care of
And
themselves.
that's what the fuck is going on upstairs.
Are the ones that go out and have sex for like $20, $30. Girl, you're really cheating yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You know?
a baby come out of there, that shit is priceless. At the end of the night, they're gonna pay for
One
it.
pimp told me one time, because he wanted me to work for him, he told me, girl, you sitting on $1,000 right now. I was like, what the f are you talking about?
It says the men in the Bible, quote unquote, men were made from dirt. We came from dust, dirt, where we will return back to dust, dirt. Women were handcrafted. And then they said that we shall not lust. I can't help it. Shit, look what you made.
Do you guys think that sex work should be legal, that there should be brothels where women can work at?
Yes. I feel like it'd be a lot more safer.
Yes, it would. And most of these women wouldn't be getting killed out here. A majority of the killing that's out here is coming from prostitutes getting killed.
Because this job involves women getting into cars or motel rooms with men they've never met, this profession carries a great deal of risk. Sex workers are some of the most common targets for killers. Take, for example, the Chicago Strangler, where 50 women over the last 20 years have been killed, and almost all of them sex workers. When you mix the social stigma of the profession and police forces overwhelmed by cases, the result is many of these killings go unsolved, and the predators out there are aware of this.
A lot of these women are also hoeing for their addiction, just to stay high.
How much has fentanyl changed the game in hoeing?
Oh man, fentanyl f***ed that game up. By far the worst drug that ever hit American soil. I've been 18 months clean off of it, man. Let me tell you, by far that was the best feeling, the best choice I ever made in my life was to stop f***ing with that.
What can you say about the power of fentanyl?
It's terrible. I wish I was never introduced to it. I was smoking like 100 pills a day.
What percent of the women out there you think are addicted to drugs in some way?
Probably like 2% don't do drugs.
I'd say a lot of them do it just to cope with what they're doing.
What we have to go through, yeah.
Do you ever enjoy yourself with a customer? Like, this is kind of a fun part of the job, or is it never fun?
Yeah, sometimes there's like good customers.
Have you ever been petitioned by a cop for sex?
Hell yeah.
In
Hell
your
yeah.
cop car?
Hell yeah. In uniform. Right hand on the Bible. On my child's life.
Are they good customers?
Yes.
You'd be the best one.
On God.
So do you like cop customers?
No.
Why not?
They can switch up at any moment, you never know.
This girl told me too that she had a cop. He would be her regular, and she would go attend to him. And when she told him she didn't want to do that no more,
He gets upset and now you want to change the rules
he
and
put
be
her
a
in
little
jail.
bitch.
He tried to put her in jail and stuff.
Alright guys, well stay safe, okay?
All right,
Have a good night, okay?
You guys stay
Thank you
safe
guys.
out there.
Alright folks, that's been an inside look into this world of pimping, prostitution, the people behind it, the stories behind it, and I hope you learned a lot, because I sure did. The mission of this channel is always to bring you the rawest and the real shit of what actually goes down here on planet Earth. Mainstream media is never going to show you this, but I will. And a shirt that we've launched, Don't Believe the Lies. Support the channel, get it on the store. Thank you for joining me on this journey. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Shit ain't nothing happened. Was gone 190 some days, but shit, I'm back in action. Pull on this block and put my gloves on just like Michael Jackson. Ain't need no light up in this bitch, and still my diamonds